Hello. Not sure where to put this thing. Hello, and welcome to my channel. Have a very special episode of Hissing Thoughts for you here today. I'm going to call it Distilled Thoughts, and it's looking at something that can be a bit of a complicated subject, and because of that, it puts a lot of people off. They don't put any time into playing around with their sensitivity settings. And the reason doing so is important is because it has a direct correlation to your accuracy, and accuracy is what helps you win gunfights. And what do sensitivity settings look like? Here we go here. It's under settings. It comes into a little bit, but it's essentially here. And for those of us that might have done some research into this right at the start when we first started playing, you probably came across Hawk's Nest's sensitivity video.
All you have to do is this. Basically what you want to do is you want to go ahead and head over to hawksnest.gg. Then all you have to do is just scroll down and then you just take the standard sensitivity that you have gotten from the 180-degree turn, type that in. So obviously I had 53. And then the calculator will spit out all of the other sensitivities.
And a lot of people, he had a website and a calculator involved as well, used those settings. Where that video is perhaps a bit out of date now is it didn't factor in rotation mode, which is, as people are getting understanding it more, is becoming more important and coming into play. So we're going to go through this. This is Distilled Thoughts, Distilled Knowledge. I've just gathered together some stuff that I'm going to share with you and link you through to of how I've gotten to where I have with my understanding. This is appropriate for potato level players like myself, new starters as well, but also through to the pros. This is an important subject. If you look at your accuracy settings in your games, for each game you do, 24% accuracy, that's actually all right. But 24% doesn't sound that great, right? When we're talking out of 100%. Some games are less than that. It's all down to how many bullets expired and so on. And I'm just going to show you a little clip here, which is a pro player, iPiano, someone I'm a fan of, and someone else I'm a big fan of, Path.exe, who is a member of a COD Mobile community research team. And people think of Path as a stats guy. And one of the big complaints when people are trying to discredit his work, which is research-based, so testing all the various elements, guns and attachments of the game, and other contributing factors, but they try to discredit his work because he sometimes takes a big dump on their beloved guns. Is that, oh, he doesn't play the game at a higher level? Well, here's some footage of him and iPiano kicking ass in a 2v2 tournament recently. And what was interesting in that is, as iPiano admits, Path carried him through the qualifying stages of that tournament. And iPiano was struggling a bit at the time. He's trying to secure a full-time team position. And Path was able to take him through some tweaks in his tracking, his aim tracking, and his sensitivity adjustments, which had an immediate improvement on his game. So if this sort of stuff can work for people right up at the competitive level, then it can work for you as well.
I should change my title to getting carried by Path.
Bomb acquired.
I'm gonna let you kill him. Oh, what's up, UAV? Thank you for the raid. Look at Path. He doesn't need my help.
For the next round.
Okay, so you can. Wait.
Oh, that was it. Oh, it was the best.
Wait,
I thought it was 6. What's up, Beaver? What's up, Fox? Slide. Look at this. I won with 0 kills. I got carried by Path. Look at this.
No.
0 and 1. 0 and 2. I suck.
You know what though? Like piano, I feel like you would benefit from centering training a lot. Like the thing I want you to try is like try to aim crosshairs before you start shooting.
I mean, I usually do that, but it's just that like maybe my sense is too high for like I'm a little bit Not the most precise dude.
Yeah, right. So you kind of want lower sense, because like the DRH clip that you had where you missed every shot,
Mhm.
you wouldn't do it very easily like with a lower sense because it's going to be more stable, right?
Okay. How do you think I should adjust my sense if I play
What's your
fixed?
sense right now?
You can. My sensitivity right now is.
Okay, let me see. Let me see.
Oh, are you in my stream? I used
Okay, let me see.
Hawksnest
Yeah, he has a
website.
calculator. I know.
Yeah, so I used that one a long time ago, and I just left it like that. Never changed it again.
What's your ADS like sensitivity made for? Like which gun is it made for?
I have no clue. Just everything. I used to play
Everything?
like
Okay, so
I don't
name
have a particular
one gun.
gun.
Like name one gun's recoil that you're gonna be like most familiar with.
BRH.
DRH, all right. So you build a DRH loadout, and then you go to training room and shoot a 57-meter target. You want to like get your sights always on that. You're using 112, right?
Yes, 112 for the firing one. Yeah.
112. Go with something like 103.
Okay. For camera sensitivity and firing sensitivity.
Yeah, both are 103. Right.
Okay. So this only changes when I'm.
The number doesn't go up, you should feel it like very.
Yeah,
You
you're
have
100%
more
right.
feeling, right?
It does feel a little bit better. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Okay, one of the big considerations, and probably the thing that confuses people the most, is this acceleration value here, right at the top. I think by default it's fixed speed. That's what if you load into the game fresh, and that's great for building up muscle memory. Essentially, it's always going to be the same movement. We have fixed speed, distance, and speed acceleration, and I'm just going to play you a clip here from Tygon, who's actually quoting a professional player, and why back in season 1 he was converted to speed acceleration, and I followed suit. I've been using it since then.
Everyone, and yes, I mean everyone in Call of Duty Mobile has been playing on the wrong sensitivity. Despite popular belief, speed acceleration is the best sensitivity. If you don't switch now, you will never reach your full potential in this game. Let's get into it. It saves you screen space. So essentially, it's the best rotation mode that everyone has been sleeping on. What I'm about to read you guys is a quote from IB. He is a successful PUBG and COPS YouTuber and player, and he specializes in sniping. He's been in the community for a long time and is an amazing mobile player with vast knowledge and great skills. So, without further ado, speed acceleration is found in almost every game. If it's not, then the game has a fixed speed at 1.00 or 100. It's normal for a game to use speed acceleration because it's the best way for a mobile gamer to perform under the use of a small screen. As for PC and console, they have an unlimited amount of space, mouse space or movement of the joystick, to perform. Therefore, it isn't required for PC or console games to use/have speed acceleration. Mobile devices are limited to inches of space to perform. Therefore, speed acceleration is their best friend. PUBG Mobile uses speed acceleration, which is fixed at 100%. COD Mobile, COPS, and Standoff allow you to manipulate the amount of speed acceleration you have. COD has an interval from 0 to 300, COPS has an interval from 0 to 10. Speed acceleration is the increase/decrease of sensitivity based upon the movement speed of your thumb. If you move your thumb very fast across the screen, your screen will move faster. Not only that, you will cover more ground. It will act as an increase in sense. If you move your thumb very slow across the screen, your screen will move slower. Not only that, you will cover less ground. It will act as a decrease of sense. This is best for mobile gamers because they are used to moving their thumbs swiftly on small screens. Therefore, the more speed acceleration, the lower your sensitivity will be. plus the more 360s you'll be able to complete. So long story short, speed acceleration is the best rotation mode for mobile.
And then we're going to lead into the bulk of this work here. The bulk of where I've got to has been helped massively recently by another member of the COD Mobile community research team, Cygnoux. Cygnoux's got a really detailed video.
By practicing 180 flicks. Initially, you may not be able to do it well enough due to either having too fast sense or too slow sense.
But I've been engaging with him directly and just asking some further questions around the relationship between this speed acceleration or acceleration value versus your standard sensitivity. So one of them should be low and one of them should be high to maintain the greatest accuracy. So he's been kind enough actually to come back with what he considers to be a 3-step phase to identifying this. Now, we were unable to get his voice, his audio for this, so we're going to use something that's a bit of a throwback to his earlier videos, which is a narrator voice, which is how he started out.
For calibrating our sense to perfection, taking both fixed speed and acceleration into account, I have formed a 3-step process which will help us find our perfect sense. Step 0 is to decide if you want to use fixed speed or acceleration. If using acceleration, then I'll suggest keeping the slider at 0 for both distance acceleration and speed acceleration.
Actually, step 0 is before you start playing with anything, just do some screen grabs. Because then if you go through this process and don't like it and you need to revert it, okay, then he's saying you decide which acceleration value do you want to use. If you don't want to convert over to speed acceleration, despite what Tygon was saying there, that's okay. But, if you want to use one of these, and I know that he recommends speed acceleration, start with just having that on 0. Now we want to jump into training mode. Well, this is a great place to warm up, but also to refine things. Okay.
First, we calibrate our sense selected so we can flick 180 easily. 180 flicks are important in our game, and swiping from left to right, or right to left should give us 180 flicks. Adjust sense so we can achieve that.
The first setting we're going to work on is just standard sensitivity. Camera sensitivity, standard sensitivity, and this is for doing 180 turns. So, a 180 is flicking from here in one movement to here. Okay. I'm going to do it consistently. So you can see here, if I jump and turn, it's pretty good, but let's just stand still and flick. Okay, so yeah, so it's a little bit much, right? So you can then just tweak it. Okay, that's pretty good. So you can see they've actually tweaked it up a couple. Okay, and then once you've entered that, just see how it feels. Tracking against the target. That feels right. Okay, and now
The goal here is to set sensitivities which allow you to track comfortably. Once you think you have found comfortable tracking sense, head on to the link I have given in the description for the PSA method calculator and input your current camera sensitivity as your starting sensitivity on the calculator. On the right side, you will get two values, one lower and one higher. Set your standard sense to one of the values, say lower, and repeat the tracking process for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Next, take the higher value and repeat the tracking process again. Which one did you like better? If you liked lower better, click on the lower option, otherwise the higher. It will again give you two values. Repeat the same process and you have to do it 7 times, and in the end it will show you your perfect sensitivity.
I'm going to include the link in my description below or in the comments. And essentially, obviously it's slower. It's okay. Now we take it higher. So 3.5. Okay. Not as easy to as it turns track. So what did I like better? I mean slower was slow. But this is it. What did you prefer, higher or lower? I felt lower was more accurate. Okay. Now it's adjusted it. It's made it even slower. Or it's made it, the higher slightly lower.
Once we have done that, use the calculator I have given to find the sense for your other scopes. I have an in-depth video on it and explain the process clearly, so watching that video will be worth your time.
We have to input our FOV as it will change the sense values, and a person using 75 FOV will have different sense compared to 51 FOV. Once you have inputted the FOV, we input the base sense next, which is our standard sense we found after doing the 180 flick and tracking.
Okay, then I'll include this link as well, but he has a bot set up and you just enter your field of view from basic. This one here, so for me it's 75. Okay, and now copy those. Essentially, we come over here back to our sensitivity. Okay, so remember we screen grabbed these first to make sure. You can see he has 2 values for sniper. If you're an ADS and traditional sniper, go lower. If you're running around quick scoping, then go with a higher value. And then you just replicate all of that back down to here. So your standard sensitivity should be the same. And radius should match 37. You can play around with the sniper scope. It's fine.
Once that is done and we have good base sense, now we work on our speed acceleration. Having high acceleration setting isn't good as it will make our aim inconsistent, but not having acceleration at all is also detrimental as we have small space on phones and acceleration helps us make effective use of it. I have 2 tests for perfecting our acceleration settings. First is the max recoil test. Take a gun with high recoil like Fennec, or FR556, or AK-47 with 5.45 caliber ammo, and make the recoil worse. Usually need to apply no stock and short barrel, and try controlling the recoil with your new sense, and increase the acceleration setting if we run out of screen space.
Okay. That's me with not doing any recoil control. I mean, geez. This is with no acceleration feed on at all, and the recoil is I got no space, which is the point of speed acceleration. Those acceleration rotation modes. It's designed to mimic in a PC game what your mouse does, 180 flicks and control. So we have our 180s now, we have our tracking. What we don't have is recoil control. So we can start. And it was a really good idea to have that set to 0 to start with. So let's just start with 10. Okay, slightly better. Do this in 10s and You know, okay, so I got that. Still really hard to control this at range. What you can't see is my thumb dragging down, so I'm starting sort of here and having to use that whole real estate there. So I want to bump it up another 5. Okay. Once you feel you've got control of the recoil.
Once we have set a baseline for acceleration setting, start flicking from one target to another in the training room, and this will calibrate our sense for target switching. While doing these tests, feel free to increase your acceleration, or lower your base sense. What matters is our sense are comfortable to us. In the end, do 180 test as well and get used to flicking 180 with new sense.
So it's this relationship between the acceleration value for your recoil. You can see it's easy to flick between them. Again, if you need more space, then you'd adjust your rotation value. So that's it. You just keep playing around here. Give yourself some time. Recoil, speed acceleration value, clicking, radius, firing speed. And this is with the high recoil setup, so let's change it over to what has been my mainstay. This is much slower firing gun. Yeah, I mean, you'd probably want to spend some time, if you have one main gun, just practicing with that. You could actually calibrate your settings based on that. And you still want to check that your 180s work. And then, I mean, you probably don't want to jump straight into rank, like play some pub matches, play some sweaty shipment hardpoint, and just make sure you're okay with it. And I mean, as you get to know these values, you can adjust them in game. Your speed acceleration, not enough room, jump that up. Standard sensitivity, it's your 180s, or also your hip firing sensitivity, and your ADS sensitivity and your firing is what I was doing there. So that's your when firing. That's how fast. So if it's too fast, you can change that down, but it's all about being accurate. Okay, now Cygnoux is going to be working on Battle Royale, but you can just copy your multiplayer sensitivities over. There it is there. So you can just copy them across. So that it doesn't feel weird when you're jumping between multiplayer and Battle Royale. Okay, so you can see this is quite detailed. The only thing that hasn't been covered is gyro. I don't use gyro. I have a tablet which is just sits there. If I was playing on phone, this is too small for me. but I'd use gyro on this if you were mobile. So if that's something that you want to know about, Jokester did a video on this very thing just recently.
Everyone, in this video, I will explain how a gyroscope works. Then I will explain how I play with the gyroscope, and then I will explain to you guys how to get started from the beginning steps and work your way to the advanced setup. That way you guys can understand and have your own play style and build it from scratch. And this video will cover everything that you need to know.
Again, I'm going to have all the links for all the people and bits of wisdom linked down below. Okay, I hope this was of help, and do check out some of these other creators that put a lot of time into creating the source for the sensitivity distilled thoughts video. Cool. Let me know if this was of any help, and if there's anything you still need help with, then drop them in the comments below, and we'll see if we can we do something about that. Alrighty.
It was, yeah, it's like really nice and warm. And there was like, I mean, there was other stuff, but we weren't really middle class or rich or like high end. Nice shot right there.
Cheers, man.
Targets in sight. Toss the bomb.
Nice, dude. You're accurate with that thing.